Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is Jen and today I'm gonna talk about commuting in Sweden with public transport, and we're going to do it Swedish style. But first things first, we need to talk about how to pay for your ticket and stuff like that. So for example, in Sweden they have, this is not the Swedish card because I don't have it, I don't use that. But it's similar like this, which is the Dutch travel card. But you also have the Swedish ones. And you can also get an app which is called Fast Traffic to Go. And then you just link it with your card or with your debit card, with your credit card, whatever you use. And then you pay via that way. Now, there is also the card which you can buy at like these small coffee shops like a Pressbria or a 7-Eleven or anything like that, and you can charge them out there. Now, every region has their own traveling card, so keep that in mind. For example, in Sweden, Gothenburg, you have Västtrafik, which is the standard company that they provide. For example, you use the bus, the tram, and the ferry. So you have 3 ways of transport. Then that is basically all you need. Second thing you need to know actually going on there, because there are tons of memes about traveling like a Swede. And these are mostly true. First off, standing at the bus stop, you might notice that everybody keeps distance from other people. There's like a meter between each other at least. Or, well, less if there's no other option, but preferably distance. And people will literally move away from you when you go near them. It's really funny to see. If you're just gonna sit near a bus stop and observe this behavior, you'll notice. Then you also have the getting on the bus. Because going on the bus itself is a whole different thing. If the bus is nearly empty, it's very easy. You just pick a seat. But there is a specific seat you have to pick. Of course, everybody knows the bus. You have 2 rows on each side of the aisle, and then you have this row of chairs next to the windows. That is where you take your seat. You don't take the one next to the path. That's weird, strange. Don't do that at all. Also, bear in mind that in some countries you do say hi to the bus driver. In Sweden, you don't. That's awkward. You'll be weird, very weird. And you check in. You don't have to check out, you check in. It's 90 minutes on your ticket. And when you check in, you can like take any door you want. It doesn't matter, it's fine. And also one other thing. Everybody stands in front of the door. Even if people need to go out, everybody stands in front of it. I don't get that. Isn't it better to make space so everybody can get out so you peacefully can walk in? No. That doesn't happen. You stand in front of the door, basically. I don't get it. Everybody pushes past you because they need to get out, and everybody just walks in when the door opens. Even people need to get out. That's just, there is no logic in that one, which is weird. I'm still trying to figure out how that works. Also, another thing I noticed is that nobody talks with each other unless you know them. And even if, then you need to know them very well, because if you don't know them very well, it's weird if you start talking to them. They tend to ignore a lot of people. So if you barely know them, unless they say hi, don't say hi, because you're not really sure if you should. And in this case, I would follow your friends. If they're Swedish, just follow what they do. If they ignore you, you ignore them. If they say hi, you say hi, etc. But yeah, keep that in mind. Now, another thing. Bus is basically empty, you have your seat next to your window, and you don't put your bag on the chair. You put it on your lap. And I don't actually see why, because 90% of the time, nobody will stay on that chair next to you unless it's full. If you live in the city, you see more often that it is full, but when it's not, and they're like, all the seats are taken next to the window, people tend to actually stand them sitting next to you. If they sit next to you, they will leave this space between. And when you're standing, for example, everybody tries to keep as much distance from each other. And also, one thing, if it's over full and you need to get out, you don't have to say sorry or pardon or whatever, you just push yourself through. I have said sorry and people look weird at me, but I also have had a couple times that Swedish people did say sorry. So it's very double. They say sorry or they don't. It just doesn't make any sense. And another thing, there is spots for older people, for people with a handicap, for people with dogs. There's spots for people with trolleys, like kids' trolleys. The kids' trolleys and older and like invalid and all that, that's very obvious because they put the stickers on. Now, in the front, you have 2x4 seats that are meant for elderly people or people with a cast on the leg or like with difficulty walking or like pregnant. They should sit there. Try to keep those seats free. Then you also have the like emptier big spots where people can stand. These are actually meant for the kids' buggies. Now, there is a maximum limit, I think, of 2 that were allowed in. Doesn't always happen, but 2 is a max. And then you have the dogs. When people go in with their dogs, they have to go into the back part. I think this is mostly because people with allergies should go in the front then to make sure that they don't get allergic reactions. Okay. I don't think it's gonna matter that much because it's still going to be an issue when there is more than one dog. And when you're traveling with your dog, I would advise not to take the busy hours in general, because if your poor baby is gonna be crushed. I've had so many times that Mickey nearly got his tail stood on because people were standing on his feet or whatever, so I mostly just had to carry him up like this. It was like really heavy. He's like 15 kilos, which is fine as long as it's not in a moving vehicle and 15 minutes long and you're holding him up while trying to hold yourself from falling. So no, don't advise traveling with your dog unless it's during the quiet times. One of the major unspoken rules regarding bus stops, buses, trams, tram stops, ferries: don't talk to strangers. Don't talk to the people if you don't know them, because that is weird. In Sweden, they're very on their privacy and on their, they're very, I wouldn't say close-minded, but close-off people. And when I discuss this with other Swedish people, they think it's weird if somebody just randomly talks to them without an actual reason. For example, if you're lost and you're asking the way, that is a good reason to speak to them, but otherwise it's just strange. And they will think of you as weird. And the whole situation becomes very awkward very fast. So I would definitely refrain from speaking unless necessary and needed to other people in the bus. I think the best thing to do basically when you're in the bus, just listen to music, bring a book and read until you're there and get out, and click on the stop button. Don't forget to click on it because they don't always stop. If nobody did, if there is nobody there, they just keep driving, they just pass the stop. Always click on the stop button. You don't have to check out because you have a 90-minute frame for your ticket to be used. And yeah, that's a good thing to know, because there are a lot of people that try checking out, which is not necessary. And when you get out, you have to push past that crowd that is standing outside the post to get in. So basically, there were like 600 people trying to get in while you try to get out, and that is really normal. So my advice is just stay calm, don't talk to others, try to keep your distance like the Swedish people do. They do like their personal space, they do like to keep their own bubble a bit. And I think if you follow that, you're just good to go. So yeah, that's gonna be my video of today, and I'll see you guys next time, and have a good day. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe to my page for more content, and click on the bell button.